Okay, so here's the deal. Originally, this was supposed to be another Geekly NerdCast like the past two videos, but we ended up rambling on for about 2 to 3 hours, and I was not about to upload a 2.5 hour long video onto YouTube. It's too much to render and it's too much to upload. Instead, what I did was I took our 2.5 hour long video, cut it into 20-minute chunks, and I'm going to be releasing those throughout the week. Of course, they will take some time depending on how much I have to put into it, and how much it's going to take to render, and how shitty my laptop wants to be, but yeah. This will also be the first entry into a series that Geekly NG will host called Kill It or Keep It, in which we talk about current movie franchises, film franchises, game franchises, any franchise that exists, and we discuss whether they should be killed or it should be kept. Of course, what we say doesn't mean anything because studios are going to do whatever the hell they want, but hey, what are you going to do? Hey everybody, I'm Jay.
And I'm Tony.
And I'm Shaz.
And welcome to the Geekly NerdCast. So Tony, what's our topic?
Today's
Jay, our topic is film franchises.
Where's the gun?
We're going to talk about film franchises and why everything you love sucks, because we like pushing buttons. So the question I'm posing is, which franchise or franchises needs to end, which one needs to start, and which one should continue and be given a chance?
Alright, do you want to go franchise by franchise?
No, this is just good. Just talk about anything you want. Shaz, you can go first since you're a big movie buff.
Yes, I'm the movie buff. The one that stands out to me, and I don't understand why this is a thing. I have never come across a single person who has watched these movies. I have never watched any of them. I don't how are they still alive and apparently still doing well, which is Resident Evil.
Oh, okay. I was like, you say Power Rangers, I end your life right now. But yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because I don't know when that even started. It started in the 90s or early 2000s?
I would go early 2000s.
Yeah, because it had that edgy bleached tips feel to it.
That was like, so Justin Timberlake was doing that, 1999, 2000s.
Yeah, and I don't even know how many movies has the name. How many movies are there in this franchise?
8, I think.
Yeah, I think there's 8.
If you don't count the animated ones.
Movies. Wait, there were animated movies?
There were animated movies as well. Yeah. I had a phase.
What?
You want something more mind blowing? There's already plans for a reboot for next year.
Yep. The last movie was just specifically called The Final Chapter.
Yeah.
And now they're making a new movie. They're busting up Friday the 13th. When they go
Jesus Christ. And they had a TV show as well, didn't they?
I think at some point, yeah.
Did you hear that they also have a game series? I didn't know that.
It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, the game series are actually, they're very good.
Where does
but
it end?
None of the movies, were ever anywhere close to being critically acclaimed. And I never heard that they were even financially that successful. So either the producers, the executive producers, just have the money to spend, and they're just churning out this bullshit stuff. And I don't get it. Have any of you watched any of the movies?
I have, only because, again, I had a phase.
Yeah.
Where I went and watched all of them. I don't know why. It wasn't I wasn't happy about it. I just went about watching. I think it was because I finally found access to illegal movie watching, so I just watched movies I never got to watch, and I just attacked all the Resident Evil movies. And
so not only did you watch Resident Evil, you bootlegged Resident Evil.
Yeah. I didn't even pay for it. I'm sorry, guys.
Don't say sorry to them. They should say sorry to us.
You're welcome, guys.
Giving us 8 movies.
But I don't even remember them. Because I was in love with the game, so I went and watched the movies, but I don't even remember them. They're and I remember a lot of things I watched.
Yeah, the Resident Evil has to be one of the most forgettable franchises to exist.
Easily. So that would definitely be one, the biggest franchise for me that it should have died years ago, but it's still going and going to keep going apparently. And I don't get why. One franchise that, again, this is the biggest guilty pleasure for me. I haven't watched all of them, but for whatever God knows reasons, I do love them. And I was like, you know what? Just let them finish it. Just let them finish it, and that is Fast and Furious.
I think that's America's guilty pleasure.
Exactly.
Everybody's
because I watched the first one, which was fine. The second one was okay. They were all about cars. Third one was horrible.
Hey, Tokyo Drift is the best movie to ever come out of any studio. I know the intro song by heart.
It's scary.
Oh my God!
He really
no,
does.
The third one, I watched that 3 times for I don't know why. I never watched the fourth one. Never watched the fifth one, but apparently that's when it kind of got like there was a shift in how the movies were made. They brought in. That's when they brought in The Rock. I think in the fourth movie.
No,
I think it was the fifth one.
What was the fifth one?
Yeah,
Well, regardless, I think that's when the tone started to shift of like, okay, this is not just a movie about cars; it's a movie about explosions and just a lot of guns, and it just became more of an action flick.
Yeah.
And I remember how when I got back into it was in the sixth movie. I was in New York, and a friend of mine, I don't know how, but she got like tickets to like the premiere. Not the premiere, like even before it was in theaters. So there was one theater that was going to showcase it, I think 2 weeks before it released in theaters. And she knew a friend that got tickets, and all of us just went to see it. And it was like such a surreal experience because all of these people loved Fast and the Furious. And all my friends that I went with loved Fast and the Furious. I was the only one. I was like, why am I here? But I saw it and everyone was cheering, and it was an event. It was like a total like event, and I was like, holy shit, this is actually amazing. And the movie wasn't, hey, I know it was bad in so many ways, but at the same time, it's the right type of bad. It was the right type of like just stupid action, stupid comedy, but the actors work well together. They have a stupid chemistry, and it, for what it is, it works. And I saw the sixth one, and I saw the seventh one. I haven't seen the latest one, but yeah, I know that Vin Diesel has a whole plan to make this thing a 10-movie thing. He wants to run it in those 10 movies. And yeah, you know what? They're making money, and they're doing it. Just let them finish with the 10 movies.
And the Fast and Furious, the fourth one, was a tipping point in which they really leaned into what everyone wanted, which was just stupid action. And and that's what Fast 5 became. Fast 5 was just like ridiculous action. I'm almost certain the only car scene is in the first the first act of the film. That's about it. There's only one car scene, and then after that they're like, let's just get as stupid as we can because that's all America wants. They just want to see two bald guys blow shit up. Fucking the Fate of the Furious is like the highest grossing movie right now. It's huge.
Oh yeah, The Rock won't shut up about it.
Yeah, the Rock won't shut up about how successful he is.
I'm so successful. That's what he said.
And then Chaz, since you mentioned making a lot of money, Transformers still makes a shit ton of money.
Does it really? Does it still make money?
Yeah, and I think it's just I don't even know who the hell goes to see it, but it's making money.
Somebody does, man.
Yeah, so Middle America.
Wait, is the fifth one, which is crazy that they're on the fifth one already? That's not out, right?
The Last Night, I think it's actually.
Darkest Night?
Batman? The Darkest Night.
The Darkest Night.
Batman's coming out in this?
Yeah,
what?
It's called Transformers The Last Night, and it should be out before the end of the month.
Batman's gonna be
okay. Why is it called The Last Night? Like, does Optimus Prime have a sword or something?
Yeah, he does. He does have a sword.
Yes. I know it's kind of cutting into like the whole King Arthur.
Yeah.
Times.
If you watch the beginning of the trailer, there's a point where the trailer begins like in the King Arthur era, and they're making a pact with the robots.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm not kidding you at all.
This isn't a joke. This is a plotline.
But yeah, they make a pact with the Autobots, and then they separate worlds. The Autobots gonna have their own planet. And then when the day comes when humanity's at the tipping point of extinction, that's when the robots will come and save them because of a pact they made years ago.
Oh, this is, yeah. And now there's a little girl because, Michael Bay wants to be feminist.
Yeah, what happened to Michael Bay? Mark Wahlberg's daughter. Didn't he have a daughter in the last one?
Didn't she die or something?
Well, spoilers. I don't care.
I didn't even watch the last movie.
I think I watched it by accident.
Yeah, the first one was the only one that honestly for me I felt, okay, this one it's fine.
I saw that one.
Like, it's fine. I don't mind it. The second one was horrible. The third one was better than the second one, but that's not saying much. And then I stopped watching.
Everyone gives me shit because the second Transformers is my favorite Transformers movie.
Really?
Everyone's like, out of all the movies, really? I love the second one. What? And not just because I like trash. Because I do love trashy movies. I love like Terminator Genesis because it brings on this conspiracy within history and the government.
Oh, okay. And then the Transformers are there the whole time.
Yeah, I've always liked that aspect in any movie, and I know it's in Transformers 2, which is horrible. But just because they added that, I really enjoyed the movie.
He loves National Treasure. Let's just
I love National Treasure. So when I saw it, I was like, it's like they absorbed National Treasure.
I can't take National Treasure seriously just because I can't take. What's his name?
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I can't take his face seriously.
EFGHIJKLMNOP2RSTU.
Transformers is actually supposed to have, I think if I remember, 10 more movies.
Wow.
Michael Bay is planning 10 more movies.
No.
Yes. If it's not 10, it's a number pretty close to 10.
If you don't die before then.
I mean, I think Transformers is gonna like outlive me.
Wow.
10 movies.
Yeah,
That's okay. I have no words for that. I did not. I thought it was gonna end after the third one because honestly, I saw the third one because my uncle, God help him, he's really a big fan of Transformers. He loves the movies, and he forced me to go with him to the theaters to watch the third one. And I watched it, and when it ended, I was like, okay, that was a good cap to the Transformers movies. We're done with these. You know, at least they ended on a, if not a great note, it's a fine note to end on. And then the fourth one came out with Mark Wahlberg, and I did horrible. I mean, in terms of like critically, it never did great, but and then this fifth, I can't see 10 movies. That's insane. How much more can they like? What other storylines are there? It's just robots fighting.
It's Michael Bay.
He'll find something.
He can pull things out of his ass. He's been doing it for years, and we've been watching what he pulls out of his butt this whole time. But I actually hope that this series continues because I've heard of Michael Bay's intentions for the Transformers series, and his intentions. He doesn't care about how critically successful it is or how much.
Well, obviously, he only cares about money.
Yeah, but it's not just in a greedy way. He cares about money because Transformers employs, the production of the Transformers films employs tons of people.
Right,
and
right,
that's all Michael Bay says he cares about. He makes Transformers for kids somehow, and he makes them because it employs a bunch of people and it just keeps money filtering, or keeps money flowing. And
Fast and the Furious Transformers crossover, that is what we need. That's the end of the pinnacle franchise. When franchises begin to cross over, that's when we've got too far.
Listen, I obviously don't know Michael Bay as a person. And nor do I really care. But if what he says is genuine, and I know obviously they're huge budget movies, and obviously they employ thousands of people.
Yeah.
And a movie like that, if the franchise keeps going, they're going to hire the same people, so it does keep jobs. It's going to open up more jobs for more people, and that is great. So the fact that he said that is something. So I'll give him that. It's just, the movies are horrible, but fine. If you're gonna make them you're gonna make them for kids. And again, I don't even know how kid friendly a lot of them are because
they're not really all that kid friendly.
They're not.
Right, exactly. But for the whole kids thing, okay, Michael Bay, come on. Like, let's be serious here. But about getting people employed and keeping jobs open, that's I completely agree with.
Yeah. I'd like him if he wasn't a sexist, though. he's a huge
sexist. Yeah, I would like him a little bit more if he wasn't a sexist as well. Yeah,
I think he's cool. I'm just kidding. No, but he could make other. I mean, he did Ninja Turtles. Was that him? That was him. Right?
Yeah, that was Michael Bay.
So it's you could delve into other movies and still keep jobs.
Yeah, but I think he's sticking to Transformers because financially it's been the one that's been pretty constant.
Right.
TMNT kind of fell down after the second one.
But he didn't direct TMNT, did he? I thought he was just the producer.
Yeah, he was just producer on them, yeah. I mean, he hasn't... I don't think he's directed the recent Transformers, but he's been producer for a pretty long time. I think
really?
He only did the first two, if I'm correct.
I think he just makes them happen.
Okay.
Yeah, he just makes them happen. He's kind of like how... there's a director that I have in my mind. Oh, Steven Spielberg. He's not much of a director now. He's more producing.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like that. He's fallen into that realm of director-dumb.
Right.
I actually want to talk about this one for a little bit because I don't remember these continuing, but until I saw the trailer for the recent one, my mind was blown. Planet of the Apes as a franchise has existed since 1968, and I think that's freaking insane.
Yeah, I mean, they had one movie all the way back then.
Yeah, I didn't even know it went back that long. I mean, I knew there was a movie of the original Planet of the Apes. I didn't know it was in 1968, though.
No, I knew that it was quite old. I knew that it was. I actually am surprised that it was 68. I thought it was even further back than that. But it was just that though. They didn't make any more until.
Oh no, they made a bunch more after the Planet of the Apes.
He don't know about it either.
Yeah,
he didn't know they exist either.
Yeah, there's after the Planet of the Apes in 1968 version started a franchise that spanned I think 4 or 5 movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then after those 4 or 5 movies, totaling up to I think 6. I want to say that's a rough estimate. After that, Tim Burton came in and made his remake in 2001 of Planet of the Apes with Mark Wahlberg. And then that, of course...
Wait. There was a 2001 Planet of the Apes with Tim Burton and Mark Wahlberg?
Everyone I've told this to has that same reaction. Yes, in 2001 there was a Planet of the Apes remake. And he had Mark Wahlberg...
Are all the apes with, gothic costumes?
I mean,
'Cause it's Tim Burton.
they weren't that far off. It was like gothic brown. It was like if a goth was stuck in a sandstorm or something.
Wait, but which is the one that gave us the iconic scene with the Statue of Liberty? Where
Oh, that was the original one.
God damn you all to hell!
Okay, so that's 1968.
And then
Nobody knows about the other ones.
Tim Burton does a callback to it, kind of, for 2001's remake. It's Mark Wahlberg goes to Capitol Hill, and he goes to the Abraham Lincoln Memoriam, and it's Abraham Lincoln, and he gets on
That's
his...
a thing?
That's the thing. That's how it ends, with Abraham Lincoln. And he gets on his knees and does his whole spiel. How could you do this? Punching the ground. It was great. I loved it.
Damn.
I think that's what sparked my love of trash films.
That's just okay. And now there's all
And
these other ones.
this whole time, I thought the only 3 movies that existed, or sorry, 2, was the classic 1968 one, and then the one with James Franco and what we have now.
No,
That's all I thought existed.
Me
No,
too.
there
Me
are-
too. Man. I
there are
thought
a
that
lot
was
more.
it. I thought it was 1968, and then the James Franco series was like building up the prequel to
Although it's
1968.
technically it's not the James Franco series. He was only in the first one.
No, that's what it
I
is.
know.
Yeah, he was only in the first
Yeah,
one, and then
yeah.
they just handed off title rights to I'm forgetting his name. Does a lot of voiceover work. I said Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah,
Yeah, Circus, yeah.
he's been the main one because he voices Caesar, and the new trilogy focuses on Caesar's rise to power.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, is easily one of the most underappreciated actors.
Oh hell
in
yeah!
Hollywood. I mean, his performance. Have you guys seen all the movies? Like all the recent
I've
ones?
only seen the first one with James Franco. I want to see the other two, but I haven't had a chance.
The second movie, first of all, from a cinematography and just the visual aspect of it is brilliant, and it's a fantastic. It's miles better than the first one with James Franco. But Andy Serkis is like, how does this man not have more accolades to his name just for that role alone? Is mind-boggling. Like, he's absolutely fantastic.
Andy Serkis is fantastic.
Mesmerized.
I'm
by
glad
the
he's
power
doing a
of
lot more live action work because I think with him doing live action work, people are gonna recognize him more. Be like, okay, yeah, that's Andy Serkis. And then when they go into his IMDb page, be like, he played all these other people as a voice, and I think that's
Yeah.
great.
You go, Andy Serkis. You go.
Yeah, he's listening.
He'll listen. He'll be like, "Thanks, Tony." And then we'll become friends.
But were any of the movies, like, I'm not sure if the first Planet of the Apes movies was successful, but like, were any of the other ones successful? Like between that time?
I remember looking up the critical timeline for these. The first one was extremely successful because it had that twist to it. And then from then on, they kind of started falling down by around, like I say, a 10 to 15% like critical score. And then I think it hit its lowest point with Tim Burton's 2001. That was where it was its absolute lowest. And then it's been getting a steady rise as of now with the whole James Franco series that everyone keeps calling. It's having its little rise back, but none of the movies so far have matched the original Planet of the Apes, which I think could be said about any reboot, sequel, remake.
That's true.
Mm.